Hi there and welcome to our YouTube channel. Not a live today, but a nice short, hopefully, video for you just to showcase this beautiful die set which I've got on a limited edition, and just to show you a really simple way of doing it, combined with some of the duo sentiments. So when I say duo sentiments, clue is in the title, comes as a pack of 2 sentiments. This is another one. So they go together. Happy anniversary to a special couple. Obviously, happy anniversary could be used separately there. And then you could mix and match congratulations to a special couple, or happy anniversary congratulations, all sorts. So they come as a set, and if you look on the Maximumcrafts.com website, you'll be able to see the variety that is available to order. But we are also going to be showcasing this little beauty. Well, actually not so little, because it's actually about 8 inches, I think. So it's really quite a large die. Let's just have a look. From edge to edge, yeah, about 8 inches. So it's really quite a large die. And I'm actually going to be stocking some more things like this in the future, so that we've got really good value for money. But they will be on limited editions, so they will be sort of, once they've come and they've gone, basically. So this is the one that we're going to be using today, which is called Cascading Butterflies. And this is a version, what I would call a pale version. I'm going to step up a little bit of the card that we're going to make today. Really, really simple version. So to start off with, I'm going to take a piece of ordinary white card, and I'm going to get myself a plastic. It's actually one of my cutting plates, can you believe it or not, from one of my machines, which I don't use. So I'm going to use this as my waterproof base so that you can see what I'm doing. And I'm using one of the Cosmic Shimmer watercolor palettes. This one is called Carnival Brights. They are mica based, so they've got that lovely sheen to them. And I am going to show you how I achieved the look, but I have done one earlier because you really need to let them dry properly before you actually get going with them and start cutting. Otherwise you do risk it just petering out a little bit. So I've got my jar of water. I'm going to take some of the mauvey colour here to start off with. So I'm just adding water to the palette, and then I'm just going to go across my piece of paper and just make a sort of a rainbow effect is what I'm aiming for. So I'm going to try and make it a fairly dark colour. Okay, then I'm going to come down and I'm going to use perhaps the next colour, which is more of a sort of fuchsia pink. And they go quite nicely together. I can blend them in a bit. And again, I want some really vibrant colour on here, which is why I've gone for Carnival Brights. Whereas the colour that I used before was more the pale one. Can't remember the name of the set, but it was much more pale one. Now I'm going in with the more bright blue, so a turquoisey blue, but you could use any papers to cut this out. You can use just one colour, you can use some already pre-printed card, whatever you fancy using really. I just think that this one gives a really lovely finish because it has that mica in it, as I said, and has a sheen. But also, as I said, you will need to leave this to dry off before you start to cut it, because you do otherwise risk, unfortunately, it being very, very soft and not being able to do much with it. So as you can see, I'm blending in all of the colours. I'm going to go for a random very light pink. So just picking up, mixing that. No, too light, too light. Let's go for this lovely orangey gold. That's better. Finish off with that orangey gold. Now this is a piece of A5 paper, so that I can make sure that I've got plenty on there, and Just going to blend that in a little bit. And then I will just need to leave that to dry. Best not to dry it whilst you're with a heat gun, because it will then make the paper warp. If you're in a real hurry, you could do, of course, but I do suggest that you try not to be in such a hurry. But you can see that you've got that lovely colour there that we're going to use. And the beauty of having something like this is that I can simply grab a cloth and just wipe that clean. Or you've got your blending mat, that type of thing. Or of course a silicone mat that this is actually on. But I thought we would go posh. So that's that. And of course, here I have one that I did earlier. So this is of a similar sort of a colour, but you can see, oh, that's gorgeous, isn't it? You can see that gorgeous sheen to it, but it's got a lovely shine to it all over. So we need to cut out our cascade of butterflies, and placement on here is entirely up to you, wherever you think might be suitable, whether you want to be your best colour. So you might want to think, I prefer my main butterfly to be more of that beautiful gold with a hint of blue, or I may want it to be mauvey, or I could say, let's bring half and half. So wherever I'm cutting it out is the colour that I'm going to pick up. So I'm going to pick up and go that way round. So I'll pop a couple of little bits of tape on there. It is, what's the word I'm looking for? Detailed, but it isn't fussy. That can be such a combination. Let's just pop it through our machine and I'll show you what I mean. It's got a lot of detail to it, but there's not a lot of little tiny intricate bits that make it difficult to cut out. So not a problem in the machine, and can obviously be fitted through an A5 as well as an A4. Oh, I should just check that it's all on that side, which it is. I think my paper is still slightly wet, so I'll just give it a chance. Now, I still want that bit, so I'm just going to show you how this one comes out, and then I'm going to go back to that bit. So I'm just going to pop through some of the release holes. Down the bottom here, with these tiny ones, it does get rather fragile, so be careful that you don't get carried away by how easy the top bit is to undo, and then pull it and then rip it. Or as if. I'm just taking the time to release nearly all of the little holes that I can. Actually grab hold of a bit of it. Okay, and then I'm carefully going to peel that away. Show you on a white piece of card. Oh gosh. I think that's stunning. Sorry, I'm getting carried away. Just love it. Love it. You can, as I said, cut it out in one colour, but I think this sort of painting a bit of paper, or scrap of paper with anything that you've got, anything really, even alcohol markers, if they blend in quite nicely, just gives that beautiful difference. So I've done that out once, but I'm going to bring in my scrap bits here, and I want to cut out that big butterfly once more. Now, obviously, I can't chop the butterfly off at this stage, so I need to make sure that it's going to be in one place. Now, I think that will be quite nice. I'm just sort of picking out where it can go. It also goes beautifully there, doesn't it? So I think I'm going to pop that there. I really want that bit, so I have to be careful here because I've got my die and my piece of card all hanging over the edge bit here. So let's just run that through again. So this time I've only really got that main butterfly on there. Whoops. Knocked the glue on the floor. So let's see how this one comes out. Now I have obviously caught a couple of the other butterflies, but I particularly want this one here. And I also want to catch that one, but I really wanted the blue. So again, not the blue, the purpley pinky colours. So I've just made sure and can easily go back in to take one of those colours again. So just going to trim this off here. So detach it. Oh, tidy that up a little bit. Don't want that. Tidy that one up. Unfortunately, I've decided I don't actually want that little butterfly, but I do want the third one down. So let's just bring that in again. I want this one here. And I think I'm going to make him there. So I'm just moving the die to suit me. Make it work for you. Now I'm aware that I've got that poking out the side, but I'm popping it into an A4 machine. But obviously if you're on an A5 machine, it's best you don't do that. So then we have got, I'm going to throw that bit away. I could actually keep it for sentence, but I don't think I will. That's the little one that I want. So I'm being a bit fussy, but I can, and why not? So it will have cut out a few others. Oh, can't get hold of it. But it's that little sweetheart is the one that I want. And I'm not going to give it, because I'm just going to trim that round so that actually its antennae are not on there, but they are on the main one. So when I put it as a sort of a decoupage feature, it will be fine. Now, I couldn't decide before I came online as to what colour it was that I wanted to have my background. By the way, can you see all the detail in that now? That's actually all sort of debossed into it, which is rather beautiful. So my card is going to be a 7x7, and my display is going to go on there like that, but I want to pick out one of the colours from here that's actually going to be my surround, either the same colour or to complement it. That's a pretty good match. That would go as well. A bit vibrant, that one. They all go, don't they, really? They all go. Oh, I can't decide. Let's go for that one, which is mauve. Let's go for that. So, from the mauve piece, let's just pop these to one side for a second. From the mauve piece, I'm going to cut out a piece which is 16 centimetres by 16 centimetres, or 6 1/4 by 6 1/4 if you're going to do it in inches. And this, as I say, is for a 7x7 card blank. So this piece is 16 by 16. Now, I've also cut a piece out which is 6 by 6 if you're in inches, or 15.5 by 15.5 if you're in centimetres, and I'm going to pop those two together. Can you believe it? This card is not going to have any foam. It's a bit frightening in itself, isn't it? So that's for my card blank, which I've got top folder. So I'm going to put that onto here. And that again gives us that wide border around the outside and the narrow one on the in. Now I'm going to then grab hold of my happy anniversary to a special couple, so one of my duos, and cut that out with the same colour background, so the mauve that I used. I'm wondering if I can get both on here. Let's just see. Yeah, just about onto that little sliver. So I'm just going to cut that out so that I've got my sentiment ready to go. Whoops. You could obviously cut it out twice, because that's the sort of thing we usually do, but I'm just going to cut it out once for today. As always, I do appreciate your time coming to join me, and I know time is precious for everybody, so I don't want you to have to watch absolutely everything I do. And you can see already how well this cuts out. So just prise that off of here. A well-worn plate. Eh? Beautiful font there. Into this one here. Nice to have sort of just not the one liner, I think. It makes a change to have the sort of duo, as they call it. I thought that was really quite a nice idea. So let's take them to one side for a minute, and I'll be popping them into my spray box just to get some spray adhesive on the back of those in just a second. But first of all, let's place our butterflies. So our butterflies are going to go across the page like this, so that my top one is uppermost here, fading away to my beautiful little ones down here. I'm not going to put glue absolutely everywhere, but because as always I like a little bit of movement, but I do think it's important to make sure that I've got glue right down to these little ones here, because we can't risk them being caught and pulled up, if you see what I mean. So just make sure that's all in place. Make sure our butterflies stay in place down there as well. And then pop that down. And then I just want to add my other two butterflies. So I'm going to grab myself a bone folder, just to give it a bit of a curl, a bit of a curve in the wing. So I'm going that way first. So bending them down that way and sort of breaking the fibres. Then I'm going to come up from the other side there. And then just bend that a little bit in the body. And pop then glue into this, literally the body part there, just there. And then put that directly over my butterfly that is already there. Just using the point of that just to really push down firmly, but to keep the wings floating up there. Okay, and then grab my other butterfly, which we cut out for here, and then just much the same. It's just in that one way or in another. And again, bend that in half so that we can see that body there. Bit of glue in the centre, and this one then directly onto that third butterfly. Whilst I'm looking at it and thinking about it, you recall that I managed to get that one cut out as well. There. You could actually do it. The only thing is, sometimes I found that by using that one, it detracted a little bit from this big butterfly. So I found that the third one was better. You don't need to do any of them. You could do all of them. But I just think that giving that a little bit of movement is beautiful. And even if you've put it into a card, an envelope rather, when you bring it out, you will still get a bit of movement. Obviously not as much as I've got there. Obviously not as much, but nevertheless, I reckon enough. Now, just going to put some glue on here. So we go for happy anniversary. We put that down here. Just need to make sure that it's all in place. That. Then special couple up the top. To a special couple, happy anniversary. We've got that straight. Well, as straight as it's going to be, eh? Yeah. Okay, so 2 different cards, but the same. Made because I've used different colours. So this, as you can see, was very much the pale one. That's the greens and... Hold on, let me just find out what it's called so you will know. This one. This one is called greens and purples. Now, didn't I just say that? Greens and purples, but very much more paler colours, still equally as lovely. And this one, much more vibrant colours, and again, different sentiments make the whole thing completely different. Lovely for a sympathy card, isn't it, really? Or any card, because we all love butterflies, don't we? And as you know, I certainly do. So, thank you so much for joining me. All of the items that I've got, whilst in stock, are over on the website. I've put in some other of the duo sentiments so that you can have a look there. But these cascading butterflies are on a restricted, limited edition, I'm afraid. There may be a chance of me getting some more, but certainly at the moment, what's there is there, and when it's gone, I'm afraid. But I hope you do like it, because it's the start of something a bit different for me. And so hopefully, if it is popular, I can go further with a few more different things, and I've got loads to show you. So thank you so much for joining me today. Have a good rest of the week. Anything that's ordered today will be going out on Friday. So just bear with me a bit for then whilst I get myself back. And yeah, have a great time. Take care till then. Thanks ever so much. Bye.